One anime ended and another came to replace it. Today we have an anime about two hitmen who had to raise a little girl, and of course about true male friendship buddy daddies. The anime begins with a convoy of 3 cars being pursued by a courier on a motorcycle. Naturally, it turns out to be a mercenary who tries to intercept the target. The first car is thrown with the help of a trap from his backpack. The second one is dropped in the course of the firefight. And the third one was not intercepted in this way, he was dropped from the tail. Except it turned out to be part of the plan, because the mercenary has a partner who has already infiltrated the driver. As they were interrogating the target, one got a phone call. He was told that the girl was sick and needed to pick her up from daycare. The partners began to argue because the other took the sick girl to daycare. After eliminating the target, they leave and we are thrown back in time. Kazuki is the name of a blonde boy who wakes up in a girl's apartment. But he wasn't just having fun, because he got close to the girl to copy the pass. After doing the deed, he returns home. At home, his partner Ray is playing games all the time. He's like a recluse. If it weren't for work, he'd never leave the house. Kazuki notices the cat at home and starts scolding Ray. After all, he can't even take care of himself, to say nothing of the cat. Especially with their job, they might not come home one day. It's too much responsibility. Kazuki returned the cat on his way to the bar. He came to the bar not to get drunk, but for work, as the bartender is a liaison. After getting paid for his last order, he gives some of the money to a transfer, but it's still a mystery to whom. The rest of the money he loses in the casino, and then it becomes clear why he lives at Ray's as a freeloader. It was time for work. The plan was to sneak into the hotel as a cake courier and eliminate the target, but it didn't go according to plan. A little girl who was looking for her father snuck into the elevator. She began to eat cake in both cheeks, and as a result, they were exposed. They had to fight their way in. After eliminating the guards, they burst into the hall. Turmoil ensued and the girl became a hostage to the bandit. Kazuki shouts to the girl that he is her father and that she should jump into his arms, thus eliminating the target. When Ray arrives home, he resents that he can't keep the cat, but he can keep the baby. Kazuki says it's necessary to find out who her parents are. The father is not difficult to find out, as it turned out to be the same criminal they eliminated. And who the mother is isn't hard to figure out either. Just look at the Mother of the Year board and there you see her. She sent her 4-year-old daughter to find her father. Applause in the studio. And so began the girl's life under the wings of 2 mercenaries. The mercenaries came to the liaison to find out if the previous target had children, also received a new assignment. The plan was for one to infiltrate as a member of the security system, to install devices that will create the illusion that the killer is already in the mansion, thereby luring the target outside, where his partner would be waiting. But the plan began to collapse before it had even begun. Miri didn't want to be alone at home, so she had to take her. When they arrived at the place, she wanted to go to the bathroom, but Kazuki asked her to be patient. When she couldn't stand it any longer, she asked to use the bathroom at the mansion. When she went back, she bumped into Kazuki and gave him away. It was urgent to escape from there, and Miri had to be caught as well. Once Miri had been caught, they were caught in a ring. Ray covered him and, with the whistle of bullets, he had to get away, taking Ray with him in the process. In the evening, the liaison called and said that he had found out about the girl's mother. It was time to return the girl to her mother. Once there, Kazuki went to talk to the girl's mother, while Ray stayed in the car with Miri. When he arrived at the bar, he found the lost girl's mother. and after talking to her it became clear to him that he couldn't leave the girl with her. As if it wasn't clear before. In the meantime, Miri asked to go for a walk. During the walk she said that Daddy is the man who will save you from trouble, so she considers the blonde boy her father. Ray caught a flashback of his troubled childhood, and when he came to, Miri was no longer there. When he found her, he saw that the cops wanted to take her away. While he was stirring, he heard Miri calling for her dad and remembering her words about her father, and decides to take her away from the cops, calling himself Miri's dad for the first time. So the girl was left to live with the two killers. But it was impossible to combine work and raising a child. It was decided to send the girl to daycare. After going through 9 circles of bureaucracy and forging documents, they were able to apply for admission to kindergarten. After the interview, Miri was accepted into the daycare center. It remained only to prepare for it, to buy a lot of things and also to attach tags to each of them. To make sure Miri was well received by the children, Kazuki bought brand-name clothes for everyone. Except this had the opposite effect. The kids were afraid of ruining Miri's expensive clothes and didn't play with her, as if 4-year-old kids cared about such things. But when they started to dress her in simple clothes, things got better and Miri started to have fun in kindergarten. After sitting so long without work, the money started to run out. It was urgent to take on a new order. The contact gave a simple assignment to collect information, since they had not worked for a long time and needed to earn normal assignments. Since Miri already goes to kindergarten, it will be easy to get the job done, but here's the problem. The kindergarten was closed for quarantine. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't finish the work on time. Kazuki went to ask his contact to push back the deadline, and Miri followed him. She wanted to find out who her dad worked for, since that was the assignment she was given at kindergarten. While following her dad, she got distracted by the dog and lost sight of him. Meanwhile, Ray had already lost Miri and reported it to Kazuki. While they were looking for her, Miri found the contact. They're terrified because they're scared as hell of him and haven't told him about the girl, but he was no fool to realize that they were sheltering Miri. So he offered to keep an eye on her for the time being so they could get the job done on time. While the mercenaries did the job, the bartender watched Miri and came up with a legend for them. Kazuki is a failed comedian and Ray is an oil tycoon. That's the version Miri told at the daycare center. After seeing a TV program on TV, Kazuki wonders if they're raising Miri right. When picking her up from kindergarten, her teacher told her that she had a fight with a boy, and he thought it was time to educate her. But it didn't go the way he wanted and they had a fight. The next day there was a tour of the zoo at the kindergarten, and the parents were asked not to be there. But Kazuki forgot to put Miri's lunch, so they decided to sneak it to her. While they were watching her, they realized they were wrong. The girl gets along well with her peers and understands what is right and wrong. She wasn't even afraid to stop the food thief. Before that, he was on TV, apparently an escaped criminal. But only this thief later attacked them to take the food. Then Kazuki and Ray came out in their suits and beat up the bandit. When Miri returned home, she made up with Kazuki. That's all for now. Already a tradition, please let me know in the comments if you're waiting for the second part from me, so I'll know what to do first. Thank you all for watching and see you soon.